ready when you are.
Hey guys, I may have go away heat, but these guys have true heel heat. So you better listen to the podcast or else I'm gonna kick you in your fucking cock and balls.
I'll get it.
Welcome to True Heel Heat, the place where we use insider terms because we think we know what the fuck we're talking about, even though we don't. My name's Maxwell Jacob Friedman, and I'm better than you, and you know it.
Hey everybody, it's Tony Schiavone of All Elite Wrestling, and this is True Heel Heat. And I said it right, you motherfuckers.
Hello, hello, hello. It is me, your True Heel Phenom SP3. We are back live on the True Heel Heat Sports Entertainment YouTube channel for another TV review. This time we are reviewing Bel Air Season 3 over on the Peacock. And I am joined by my esteemed colleague, the princess of all the True Heels, Miss Krssi Love. How are you doing?
I'm okay. How about yourself? I'm great. I'm here. Good afternoon, good evening, good night, peeps. I hope everyone is well. Let's do this Bel Air one. I think this was the best season that they have done so far. How about you, friend?
I really enjoyed this one. I thought they had lost the magic in season 2. I thought it did not come off as well as I thought. I love season 1. I love season one
yes.
of the series, and I thought season 2 was a step back. It was a little bit flat, and then when they ended season 2 and said we were only going to get the summer, because I thought by the end of season 2 it was getting a little bit more interesting with them in school and stuff, and that was a different feel to it. So I thought it would get a little bit more interesting in a season 3 if it was still focused on the school part of it. But hearing it was going to be in summer, I came in with my expectations low, but they exceeded my expectations by far with this season, especially how they ended season 3. So I'm excited to talk about it today. We appreciate y'all if you're joining us live. Appreciate y'all if you're watching us on demand. Remember to show your appreciation back the simplest way possible. You can drop the thumbs up on this video. You can also share this video with all your fellow Bel Air fans, and family out there. And if they're not a fan of Bel Air, check out the review so we can tell you about it, and then maybe you will try it out over on the Peacock or any other ways you get it, you illegal motherfuckers out there. But if you have watched Bel Air season 3, feel free to sound off in the live chat or comment in the comments down below, because we love to interact with all of you guys as always. But yes, I really enjoyed season 3 because it felt like midway through season 3 that it was becoming more of like a lighter show, that it wasn't as dark, like the dark side of Bel Air that it was seeming like in season 1. And I think in season 2 a lot of that was like the darker end of things too, but it felt a little bit light, especially being in summertime and all willy-nilly and stuff. But once we got to the end, I was like, oh, they hit us with things that I expected, but they did it in interesting ways.
for me, I was really surprised that they started in the summer, because I'm like, okay, then they just was in school, so how we at the summer? I was like, they're not going to next season, but I see, it's still in that same year of like when he
Yeah.
got there, so they're still like transitioning, still have it at that same year of like where we left off, so it's nothing like skipping forward so fast. So I did like that part after I understood why they did it or whatever. Um, but yeah, I do agree with like it was getting a little dark at some points, but like still dealing with like teen issues and going it. But then we got a little bit more laughter, more fun, and things like that. So yeah, I agree with that for the season.
Because sometimes this series could seem more like not a revisioned
Hmm.
Fresh Prince of Bel Air, and it feels more like All American at times. Um,
Homecoming or the other one or the original one?
I started watching like clips of the older one, and I was just
Okay.
like, yeah, this is some scenes in Fresh Prince in Bel Air. It kind
Hmm.
of seems like it's trying to come off as all American, but it did venture into a nice balance of everything where you get it very much feels like you're watching kind of like one of these like comic book series or like a book that they transition into a movie or a TV show where you know the source material and you know where stuff is going, but they have to come out with creative ways and
Hmm.
surprising ways to
Hmm.
get to it. Like
Yeah.
how we end off the season with Viv being pregnant and Hilary's husband dying. They did it in unique ways, even though you knew this stuff would happen.
Before they even got like the whole wedding happening. And I was like, yeah, oh yeah, like Hillary's fiance, proposed during a bungee jump. And then Viv gets pregnant and all the kids is big, and he was like, how the hell y'all was having damn babies? And it's like, oh, did they get pregnant during that little weekend at the little rendezvous that he was with the other couples? Like, what happened? Like,
He was smashing. He was hitting that raw. He was raw dogging. He got a little freaky with all the other freaky ass couples, the swinging
little
couples and
spice.
shit.
They put a little spice on it. They open up their minds a little bit. So
He got her pregnant right on the balcony, the hotel balcony. All right, Uncle Phil, you gaining some points again. You gaining some points. But yes, I figured that we do things a little bit differently instead of doing like
mhm.
episode by episode. We go to like each character and we kind of talk about their arc throughout the season and what they
Okay.
were kind of into. And a lot of these characters will interconnect on a
Mhm.
lot of
Mhm.
stories throughout. So I think that was the best way to do it. So we might as well start with Will Smith. And I have to say, my overall thoughts on Will in this season may shock a lot of people, but I think he's the most boring character out of them all.
I I told you this. I think he's like the Zach Morris of like Bel Air. I think he was a fuck boy. He was trash. Like he was just very selfish. You and I have always said Zach Morris was trash. But I felt like he was like very much like certain things. It was like very like he was trash this week. I mean this weekend, this season. He wasn't like the lovable person that we used to like we love from him or whatever. I think he was more like thinking about himself and just like not he was doing things and not thinking about the aftermath of his actions.
Yeah. Because he really kind of, we see at the start of the season, he's trying to kind of bring Carlton back into the flow. Like he was the most excited about Carlton coming out of rehab and trying to be a good cousin and trying to
Hmm.
be there for Carlton. And then throughout the season, he was like the worst cousin ever, the worst cousin and business partner ever. Because
Because he was just always just thinking about himself, selfish, asshole,
yeah,
trash.
yeah,
There you
yeah.
go.
Yeah, pretty much. So yeah, he basically tries to, be there for Carlton when he comes out, but then he runs into his father, Marlon Wayans, which this might be one of Marlon Wayans' best performances of
Listen,
any character he's ever played.
listen. After seeing Marlon on Club Shay Shay, and he was like, "Yo, I've been doing like these active things. You're gonna see me in like these serious roles. You're gonna see me, and you're not even gonna like recognize what I'm doing. Like the funny Marlon, but you're not gonna know this serious Marlon. And this serious Marlon, I love. I think I think both parents that they cast for his parents are spot on perfect.
Absolutely agree with you. So yeah, he runs into Lou. That's who Marlon plays, Lou Smith, Will's dad, and it basically kind of changes up his plans for the entire summer because his summer was going to consist of hanging out with Carlton, getting Carlton reacclimated after coming out of rehab, and he was still playing basketball for the coach
team,
Doc.
for the team that he begged to be on, that he made everyone pay money for.
Pay all that money for. We went through all that drama with this side quest team and everything, only for like episode 1 to end with him deciding not to go to a tournament in Vegas, and he's not going to play basketball this summer.
Great job, Will. Selfish.
Great job, bro. And a lot of that came off of him going to meet up with Lou after finding out that Lou stayed in California after their whole meeting in season 1. He went to see him at a barbershop that he's working at, and they basically had this long conversation where Lou explained that he was a basketball star and a basketball player. He gave him a whole bunch of like old stuff of articles and his old basketball, and explained that that was his way out of the hood, and that could be Will's way out of the hood. And Will's like saying, like, I got a lot more at my hands. I got a lot more opportunities that I can go through on. So that's why he makes the decision to not go through with the basketball, because he also kind of started off this season kind of telling us that he was trying to get this fellowship or like this internship where he could become like a entrepreneur and go to this business program and create his own business. But of course, Will is late because he's distracted in his mind by Lou. Doesn't make it to the meeting, so the guy kind of rejects him until Carlton kind of smooths it over with the guy, and he basically tells him how Will was always there for him, and he kind of judged him by his background and who he was, but Will has shown that he's like really giving, and he's always trying to help him out through everything that he's going through, even though he has a lot on his plate. And that convinces the guy to not only give Will a spot in the internship, but also Carlton, where they can work together and create their own business together. So they basically, after meeting up with a whole bunch of entrepreneurs, they come up with the idea of Blackcess, where they're going to help Black businesses.
Terrible name. Another one, like they just put it in Chat GPT and just like give me like the names that like. I love that they put the A in as for the little crown, but like stupid name. But whatever. I'm not the person.
And I think they explained what this business is like 8 different times during the season. I still don't
get it.
I still don't get it. I was like, so you're a hoodie company because you're selling the hoodies
and t-shirts,
but no,
and
you're trying to raise money to help Black businesses get money, yet you can't help Jazz save his business. So I'm still so confused.
They dropped the ball on this one, friend. Definitely.
It was very confusing.
Confusing. Like they're just a hoodie apparel company, and it's like, oh yeah, we're all over in Ghana, and all this was like from selling t-shirts and hoodies. Right.
We got Aubrey James in the chat. Thanks for joining us today. He says, "What's up, y'all? I felt Will got treated this bad this season. He really didn't do anything. I'm not feeling well. And Lisa is boring. Will and Jackie for any game. I mean, I was gonna get to that because that's a big. I felt like Lisa's character through like the first 2 seasons, they added a bunch of layers because Lisa was kind of like presented in the original series in like season 5, where she was presented as like Will's dream girl. A girl that was going to kind of give him back anything that he was given, that can go like toe to toe with the wits. But we only really got like an 8-episode arc with them meeting, getting together, and then by the end of the season, they're supposed to get married. And then Will's mom and her dad
got married,
and they got married instead of Will and Lisa. And then we never saw Lisa again. It was like one of the. In my opinion, it's one of the worst storylines in the Fresh Prince of Bel Air history because there was so much they could have done with that.
With Lisa, yeah. I agree. Yeah, they definitely dropped the ball. And then you had Nia Long there. It was like, how did you mess that up? Anywho, but this Lisa, I have to agree. She she was part of the problem for Will. She was part of the problem. I feel like her character, like 1 minute you want to be with him, 1 minute you don't want to be with him, and then when you see him getting attention from other people, that's when you're like, no, I want you to be all with me. It's like, girl, get it together. Then you can't be with him because you got to focus on your swimming. Like,
yeah, and I know that they started off the season with no labels because Will's so wishy-washy with stuff, and I thought that they would really kind of pay off with something that I thought they were teasing in season 2. Because if you remember, before Will found out that Jackie was Doc's niece
mm-hmm.
and that Jackie was basically kind of got them connected so he can recruit Will to get money from the Banks family and stuff like that. That it was basically they hooked up and they had sex and then they broke up like immediately thereafter. And like how they ended things, it was kind of like nondescript and everything. But
Mm-hmm.
I really thought that we were going to get a pregnancy storyline where Jackie was pregnant, even though Will got with Lisa at the end of season 2.
But we don't need that. No, friend.
I guess not. But yeah, him and Lisa seem like they're on good terms. Like he's going to see her as she has the swimming job at the country club. But I felt like Lisa's character really got sidelined this season. Like it really felt like she said that she was focused on the swimming and going into practice and trying to go into like the Olympics and stuff like
mm-hmm.
that. But then we never saw her practice other than like one time. And then she kept surprising Will at his job because Will was given a job at the country club, which I want to say, I don't understand why the parents did that. They already are members at the country club. Why do they need a job at the country club to network?
Just use your parents as the source of your network. Just like, oh yeah, because they can already be there because the parents are members, so they can already be on the property. I'm sure. Yeah, I don't know. But I guess they're trying to keep it true to like the story or whatever. I don't know. Like it gave me very much Saved by the Bell vibes, the beach club thing.
It did give me that.
Because they worked there for the summer.
Your connection to Will be the Black Sack Warriors, so a lot cleaner.
Yep, especially like being by the golf cart, just being just him. Very much Zach Morris, always, thinking about himself and trying to get the next scheme.
We got RBJ says, I thought Will's dad was going to die for a minute. I wish we get more Will's dad next season.
I think we will.
I think we will because they ended on good terms
mm-hmm.
in the episode. We're gonna get into that with the whole Will. I thought that was one of the best scenes, by the way. The Will with his dad and mom, the therapy
mm-hmm.
session.
Yes. And her projecting like her hurt onto Will. Like angry, here goes the angry black lady. She has trust issues and she has to keep the child away from this angry black man because he's a failure.
To be fair, it was the 90s, but Aunt Vibe was always the angry black lady. Remember when when Aunt Janice got the white husband, who was the sister that didn't agree with it? Aunt Vibe.
Aunt Vibe. She was always that character. Yeah, she was. She was like, well, she didn't even want to come to the damn wedding.
No.
She was always the nasty sister out of all, like, because she was like, it was like 5 of them or 4 of them, and she was the nasty sister.
Of them. Diva. I'm mad they don't do that though. That would have been a great callback.
They should have did that. They should have. Maybe they'll do it for the next season. Have all of them come over.
I hope so.
And Jennifer Lewis should definitely be a auntie still.
Jennifer Lewis never ages, so that would make sense. Or she could be like a mother figure or something. If you feel like she's a little bit older, so there you go. We got Aubrey James. He's also we got DeMarcus who says Ashley become a Willow Smith Bel Air this season. I mean,
that's another one. That's another character. That's like
I was gonna get into that. We're gonna get into Ashley and her arc throughout this season because they experimenting with storylines as well as her experimenting. We got DeMarcus who says, how did y'all feel about the 3-3-2-2 format dropping on Peacock? Peacock. Just a message for y'all. If y'all were watching the reviews on YouTube,
tell me what it is. Maybe I missed it.
Because I know you watched it, you binge watched it, kind of similar to what I did. But basically, he's asking about the format in which it dropped. It dropped with the first 3 episodes coming out. Then the next week, 4 through 6 came out. Then 7 through 8 came out, and then 9 and 10. Instead of them just dropping it all at once, or one a week like they did the past 2 seasons, which I feel like there is caveats and there's reasons behind all the decisions that they make. What I saw with, like, we're gonna do a review on the Bear season 3, having a season come out all at once, it literally makes it a topic of conversation on, like, social media and in the TV lexicon for that week. You don't have a sustained kind of people talking about it every week. Right. Like when Bel Air was coming out every week, I would hear people talking about that one episode like the entire week on social media. But because it was like 3, 2, 3, 3, 2, 2, 2, I couldn't even do that. I had to blank out Bel Air on social media, or I would have got the whole season given away to me because people are watching all 3 episodes at once. So
got you.
Like, yeah, the bear made a mistake by having it all come out at once.
Yeah, I think they should have did that.
I don't know if this is the middle ground of having it 3, 3, 2, 2, 2. Honestly, I'd rather prefer it when it was 1 a week.
You know what it is? For me, it's certain series I feel like that needs to be like once a week versus like the 2, 2, 3. Like the Penguin, they should just drop all of that all one time.
Nah, the Penguin's too good. It's too good. You got to do it 1 a week. You got to do it.
This last one, I need more. I needed more. I
still got to watch episode 4. I started watching it. Yeah, I know. Everybody's telling me that's the best episode so far. And I thought episode 3 was the best episode so far.
Me too. SP, I watched it yesterday, so you don't even worry. No, I thought episode 3 was like, sorry, we're getting off topic. I thought episode 3 was like prestige top tier. Nah, 4?
Yeah.
Pinnacle.
I already started watching it, so I know it's Sophia.
And it's about
a flashback.
She's one of my favorite characters.
Yeah. And I love the Sophia from the comic books, and I love Sophia on Gotham. So I very much wanna watch that for sure.
I love the ties that they put in from like this series, and they bring it to other series, and I like whoever did this. Very good. But go ahead. Sorry.
Matt Reeves and them. Shout outs to them. Yes, we are. You know it, DeMarcus. We are gonna review the Penguin. Don't worry. That is one where probably after I watch episode 4, I'll talk to Krssi and we'll figure out a day, maybe next week or the week after, where we could do like the first 5 episodes, the first half of the season. Yeah. But we got also Aubrey James, who says, I hated Uncle Phil and Vivian's storyline. She get mad at Phil. He do anything wrong on Aunt Viv, have been flirting with the man since season 1. Why can't we have a good marriage? This BS. All right, so since you brought it up, we'll pause on Will for a moment here because there's a lot more to discuss with Will and his arc. We'll talk about the Uncle Phil and Aunt Viv arc, and I totally agree with Aubrey. I'm sick of them always teasing one of these niggas cheating on the other. Like here we have what, and I hope that the way this whole season ended is an indication that we can go more into them trying to keep their relationship together while dealing with careers, while possibly dealing with their pregnancy at the same time. Because I'm sick of them. Like it was interesting and it was very fun when you had Michael Ealy's Don Carter ass out here trying to fuck on Viv. That was very interesting, very intriguing. And I would have said that was probably the most entertaining storyline of season 1. Yeah. But like season 2 with the old ex and her kissing Uncle Phil, you knew that was going to get followed up in this season.
Yep.
I don't know why Phil did not just tell Aunt Viv, because she kissed him and he immediately rejected it. So why are you keeping it a secret?
I told my husband that the same way. I was like, first of all, you already know homegirl's trash. This is not her first time trying to do some shit like this. So you should have definitely kept it where you were like, yo, just let you know, homegirl did some fuck shit yet again. Keep it 100.
Yeah.
I understand why he did not tell, but he should have told.
I know he's trying to keep his business afloat because she's helping him with his new
And
firm and stuff.
correct.
So
And
I understand that perspective of it, and the fact that her and Viv kind of finally, after like years, kind of squashed their whole shit from her trying to do this in college. But if she does it again, like immediately after that, like you gotta tell your wife. It's gonna come out. It's like how we say about Power. All the secrets, except for in season 4 of Ghost, all the secrets usually come out and they come to light in Bel Air.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't understand. I don't understand. So, but man, I was just like, I felt like we were rehashing season 1 with Viv kind of flirting with the chef and stuff. And
Why
I'm
always a
just like,
chef? Like it's always like people that niggas that cook.
and at this point, I was just like, you gonna kiss him? You gonna fuck or what? Like y'all been teasing this shit since season 1. Is she gonna cheat on Phil or not? Should I get off the pot? That's where I was at. What did you think about that part of their arc with Phil lying to Viv, which kind of pushed her into the arms of the other men, and then how her friends were kind of like encouraging it on their night out on the town?
See, this is why don't tell your girlfriend that one have a man or two have men issues about your issues with your man, because they will take their toxicity and put it on you.
Yeah.
So that's some, stuff that, women do that's just not cool, but hey, whatever. But for her to kind of like push issues on why, Phil like would always like put last minute things on her. Her plate was overwhelming, but he's been craving for your attention, and you always like, oh baby, I'm tired. He was like, I hope we're not gonna be one of those couples that start to schedule things, which is terrible. But that's what it was leading for. But he kept saying, babe, I'm craving, like he's been wanting you, and you just kept saying, no, babe, I can't do it or whatever. Not saying that is okay, but this is what happens when people need attention. They're like, you need attention. They're like children. You have to give everyone attention. And I think that this part of the story was definitely one which was annoying, that like, okay, just like either make her cheat or don't cheat, or like make her like be mad at Phil. Like somebody got to do something. Like at this point, like figure it out, or just make them be a happy family. Like you, like the whole like perfect couple magazine shoot stupid. Like who we fooling?
Yeah, who we fooling? Y'all have had issues since this whole series started. Like who we trying to fool here? Who we trying to fool? So yeah, they were kind of already distant, and then Phil's secret came out. She found out about it, and he had to come clean about it. But no, she found out from old girl. Mm-hmm. And then Phil basically, when old girl told Vivian, he had to basically cut ties with her, which hurt his business. And then he started working with this kind of realtor, this big like hotshot realtor, construction worker, or like construction entrepreneur, who was trying to like restructure the business and shut down a whole bunch of kind of businesses that were struggling, including Jazz and his music shop. So that kind of affected Jazz. It affected Jazz and Phil's relationship, which they kind of were coming close to each other. Like at the beginning of this season, he was offering to help Jazz with the music shop. And then at the end, he basically had to give him paperwork because the guy wanted to put him out of business, because he wanted to kind of rent out the whole place and build this kind of complex, this apartment complex. And this led to kind of this is where we get some of the storylines kind of intertwining, because Jazz was a part of the kind of this mutiny group kind of led by a person that's running for office, the mayor lady.
The council lady, I think.
Yeah, I was like, how are you a council lady and you're like fucking promoting a mutiny? Like, what are we doing here?
And you had radical people in the damn group that was just terrible.
And you had them basically kind of talking to Will and talking about all their issues with his uncle working with the guy, and the guy trying to kind of put them out on the cold. And Will always wants to be pro-black, wants to be a part
when it's
of the
convenient
mission.
for him, when it's convenient for him, that's the BS that gets on my nerves about him. Like, bro, like just like being your truth, like it's all right. Like anyone wants to be here, like you came up, it's all right. Like get over it.
It's all right. Like you're rich now. Like why you want to go back? Like you always want to go backwards.
You can still be yourself and be rich and still try to help out. Like it's okay. You always be like this conflicted side, like it's gonna make you less black. No, you still black. It's all right. You looking out for you, not them, because they're not looking out for you.
Nope.
And that's the
I don't
problem.
care about you, bro.
And that's the problem that he needs to understand. Well, how you gonna be on the right side? I'm trying to be on the right side. What side is that? You just found this side last week.
Always getting it twisted. Always getting it twisted. So yeah, he's a part of the mutiny. They go and burn down the construction site. And Will has the mask, and we see it at the end of an episode, and it leads to basically Jazz was a part of it, and his face was actually seen, and he gets arrested.
The only dummy that took his mask off.
Because he didn't want them to set the place on fire. They just wanted to trash the place a little bit. They didn't want to set it on fire, so that's why he took his mask off for some dumbass reason. So he winds up getting arrested. It takes Will and Hilary to come save him. We'll get into the whole Hilary and Jazz and LaMarcus, aka really Trevor. He's really Trevor. He's really Trevor guy. Like I heard people talking about it in season 2, like, oh, this guy is Trevor. He's Trevor, and I was like, I don't know. They did a different kind of story for him, and then I was like, by the end, I was like, yep, he's Trevor. Yeah, he's definitely Trevor. But yeah, so yeah, that whole thing is where you leave that Phil and the guy kind of stop working with one another until like the end of the season, where they actually come together and they're gonna basically create new jobs and create malls and help out some of the smaller businesses in the community, kind of bringing it all together. And Phil has a new project that he has to deal with outside of the firm. So it was kind of like Phil having a coming to Jesus.
Mm-hmm. How about you muted?
Yeah, I think I kicked the one.
Okay.
Let me change my mic real quick.
Okay.
Okay.
How do I sound?
Great.
But yeah, he had the whole coming to Jesus with creating that. But before then, him and Viv basically had their coming together, their coming Jesus moment, where they went on a resort trip and with a couple of their friends, with LaMarcus's parents actually, and with his parents, and they met up with a couple of his old fraternity brothers.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
They started strolling. Why are y'all strolling in the middle of a fucking resort?
Because they black. Because black.
Oh man, I was just like, man, you can't take these niggas nowhere.
Nope. It was funny to me when like the guys and the ladies were together, and he was like, yeah, she paid for me to have a happy ending, and she watched, and they was like, what? For real? Oh, my wife, damn. And then the ladies was like. And the lady was like, yeah, she was like, yeah, girl, like you got to spice it up a little bit. And it was like, I don't know about these things. I don't just being real prudes. It was like, girl, stop. Like, it's all right.
And when they got naked at the poolside, they saw the naked guy, and it was like, oh, let's take off our tops. I was like, oh, and Viv did it. I was like, oh, okay.
I was like, your husbands ain't even around. Right, exactly.
I see you on there. Yeah, and they kind of teased the whole episode that they were gonna have like a swingers foursome or threesome with the other couple, until they finally decided to go back to their room, and they just had sex on the balcony. And then we got the final episode where Viv did say that she felt a little seasick because they had to take a boat over to Martha's Vineyard for Hilary's wedding. And she says she felt sick. And then by the end of the episode, she takes a pregnancy test and we find out that she's pregnant. With little baby Nikki. We're going to get little baby Nikki in season 4. Look at that. What did you think about Aunt Viv and Uncle Phil's whole arc throughout season 3?
It should happen sooner. Or some type of like way of like having their issues brought out a little a better way, I feel like, because again, him trying to protect his business and her, trying to, she's the new owner of this business at the art company, and she's trying to find balance between that and her family. It just I feel like it should have just been more sped up and told in a different way, because it just made them seem just very like, I'm so perfect, blah, 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 blah. And that's not the case. Like, just put out their issues and see how they can figure it out.
Yeah, I just want them to like they could have made this season the season where they focus on them trying to deal with their own careers, but also trying to keep their marriage intact. Yes. You didn't need any like outside elements like old girl from college or the chef, the taco guy.
They could have.
He was only around for like 2-3 episodes.
He really was like he showed up at her job with lunch. It's like,
on her anniversary.
Right. I was like, whoever wrote this, like they could have like scheduled like, and then when Phil got there, she was like, oh baby, stay. He was like, nah, I'm good. Like you can stay here with your little stinky lunch. It's okay. And I see you later in the afternoon. And then the nice thing he planned for her afterwards, she was just like still upset and ungrateful. She was like, oh, this is all nice that you like rented this whole place out, but like still like blah blah blah. Like he was like, girl. Well, there's planned date nights once a month. Like I don't know, like planned like things for us to do so we can get back to us. That's what they should have done. Different ways for them to reconnect back with each other.
Gotta do it. That's the best way to do it. I agree with you. But we had that, and then we got a couple of comments here in the chat. We got DeMarcus who says, I low-key liked Amira this season, but she called out Will for his BS. All right, yeah, might as well get into, because DeMarcus also says, who was your favorite character in Bel Air this season? Carlton was my favorite character.
From this season?
Who is yours? Yeah.
This season,
or in Bel Air in general, or this season.
This particular season, I was kind of like liking the whole thing of what they did with Geoffrey. Like they opened him up more. Like he's an onion. You got to peel him back. So we got to learn a little bit more about him.
I felt like that was so disconnected from everything else.
I feel like it had nothing to do with the actual other stories, but I had liked him. Yeah. Like, yeah, him, and like was part-time, now he's back or whatever. Like his particular character in itself, I like. His story just seems off.
Yeah, it seems off in the distance. It seems like I'm watching a whole. I hate his son. That's my least favorite character. Yeah, but I do agree with DeMarcus. I would say Carlton. Carlton has like from the end of season 1 to now has probably been the best character, because I hated him at the beginning, the way he was treating Will when he first got to Bel Air and stuff like that. But by the time they kind of came together, him giving the money to Will when Will the house after meeting up with Lou at the end of season 1 through all of his addiction problems and his past coming back to haunt him. And then I really felt like they did a great job writing wise
for Carlton.
His struggle with his addiction, and that he really has a disease, and you kind of saw the ups and downs of that, him having to call his sponsor when he was at the event, and he was got his head was spinning and stuff like that, calling the sponsor and the sponsor helping him out. And then when Amira went through her OD and him kind of buying the drugs, having the drugs in the car, and finding the strength within himself to kind of not go through with it. That I thought that whole arc for Carlton was like the best told story. Amira, I hate it.
Amira and Geoffrey's son is my least favorite characters. Like I knew Amira was a liar from the moment we seen her. Especially they try to gang up on old girl like, bitch, you just met Lisa. How you like what? Nah, she your bestie. Whatever.
They all besties and everything. Like that's fake ass shit. DeMarcus said Lisa was very jealous of Jackie. Jackie was more business minded than Lisa. I mean, Jackie was helping Black Sus a lot more when
She
they
really
went to
was.
that car event.
She really was just helping out, and she was like, "Hey, y'all want to go get something to eat? Like we done worked all this afternoon." And yeah, Lisa would have got punched in the face.
Called her a bitch and everything. I was like, damn, Lisa.
Like that wasn't even necessary. Then you didn't even apologize, yo. Like, and nobody said nothing. Like Will was like that. I was like, y'all a bunch of pussies.
You know what they should have done? It would have been funny is that if Jackie's mom was Tyra Banks and if Lisa's mom was Nia Long.
Yes, they should probably do that for next.
They should do like a flashback of Lisa with her mom Nia Long before she passed away.
I forgot Jackie was Tyra Banks.
Yeah.
Oh my God, yes, because she was the girl from back in the hood. Oh wow, I didn't even put two and two together.
Yeah.
Shit, he was like in love with Jackie before Nia Long was even.
That's another man. Will had just a series of like great girls that he could have done more with that they never did anything because he never really got with Jackie.
He never really got with Jackie.
He never really got with Jackie. He was just his old girl from back in the day, back in the way. But yeah.
Dang, I forgot all about Tyra Banks as Jackie. Damn, wow, SP, you just make. You should definitely. Tyra Banks definitely should play her mama, and Nia Long should definitely play. Wait, no, but didn't they say her mama died? Lisa's mom died.
Lisa's, yeah, that's what I said. A flashback with Lisa and Nia Long. They should do that like a flashback. We got DeMarcus who says, "What did y'all think of Penelope and Geoffrey's chemistry?" Since we already kind of teased about the Geoffrey arc, we'll go into Geoffrey now, because Geoffrey was kind of like an outlier in all of this. Like I said, a lot of everybody's storylines get interconnected, and by the end of the season, Geoffrey's storyline does interconnect with Will, but like he was kind of like on the outlier because he was hiding his son. His son was back here in California because, you know, he got the picture at the end of season 2, which indicated that his old past from London was coming back to get him, and they knew that his son had came to see him in season 2. So he had his son staying with him, but his son was being very secretive and kept talking to somebody. Like Will overheard him talking to someone on the phone, and he was like, "No, I haven't told Geoffrey about you," and whatnot. His son was being fucking
sneaky as hell. Had a burner phone.
Had a burner phone. He also was fucking making bets at the car event that they went to promote Black Says, because they invited him to come with them, and he was fucking making bets and everything. And then he sneaked out on the bet, and some guys tried to
stole their money.
He stole their money, and they tried to get back at him. And Will and Carlton had to fight with him and then run away and stuff. And they ran off until Geoffrey was able to find them, and Geoffrey kept trying to ask like what's going on and whatnot. Carlton was honestly the only one that wanted to be honest with Geoffrey and tell him like, yeah, your son is doing some shit. And he's like, I'll take care of my son and whatnot. And basically he followed his son, and he found out that his son was in communication with his mom, Penelope, who was also there in California because his past has come back to haunt him, and that they were coming after her. So that's why she had to find a way here to California. And we found out that the gang was basically in contact with one of his old associates, who was Roman, who was supposed to be taking care of Penelope and his son while he was, he came to California and started a new life. But Roman got arrested, and basically he couldn't look out for them. But now that he's out, he can be in contact with the gang that Geoffrey used to be a part of and get him a clean break. But when we met Roman, it was the original Geoffrey. That was a cool moment.
That was a great moment. Yes, I agree. That was definitely a good moment. I was like another nostalgia for us to like go back and just be like, old Geoffrey, new Geoffrey, great job. Both have accents. Both are great. Like it's so good.
And I got to hear the original Geoffrey say "Wak Wong."
Good God.
That was cool. That was cool. But yeah, they
Penelope's
met
wigs were
up.
trash though. The last one was very nice once she met all like Will and all the other kids or whatever. But I was like, that y'all can't get this right on this nice lady. Like, damn, like, can y'all get this together? Like, what is happening?
So yeah, so they met, and he basically told him like, yeah, they need you to come back because they gotta finish. Yeah, they're mad at you because you took out the boss, and then you escaped. You came and made a new life in California. You need to come back to keep your family straight. And I think it was Phil who told him, you always come up with a different way out of this. You don't always have to do, the way that you want to go, because he told him that he might have to leave. So Phil told him to come up with another way. So he went and he had a whole bunch of money, a whole bunch of fucking euro or pounds in his fucking boxing bag that we saw the whole season in his apartment.
Great
And
place to hide too, because no one's not gonna look there.
No one's gonna look there. No one's gonna look there. Very smart. Very smart man right there. So he took all that money that he's been getting from the Banks family for all these years, and he gave it to Roman and told him, give it to the gang, and that's the option I'm giving them. I'm paying off for everything that they may have lost from me taking out the boss, and work out that deal for me and make them take the deal. And he's like, all right, shook hands and stuff, but Penelope was gonna fucking turn on this nigga. Was trying to lead him, because we saw that band, we saw that car kept following them and shit, and we found out that Penelope was the one that was trying to lead Geoffrey so he could get caught up and kidnapped by these motherfuckers. And he told her like
trash.
All right, he's like Geoffrey he's always the smartest person in the room. I will give them that. I love that Geoffrey is always the smartest person in the room. Like, even when he was showing Penelope around the house and Will and Carlton were trying to get him out the house so they could have a pool party with all their friends. And he was like, all right, just have your girls out of the house by midnight. Like, he was not getting fooled. He was like, I know you trying to get me out the house so you can have your girls over. Just have them leave by midnight. Yeah. So he goes out with her. They have a good time. He even gets into it with this guy because they bump into each other, or she bumped into one of the guys, and the guy tried to like push up on Geoffrey and intimidate him in the bathroom. Geoffrey just hit him right in the throat and then put him in.
Like you were saying, what? Okay. And then she was like, oh, you did something to him? He was like, no, just, some people just like to be handled in different ways. Yeah. Like, yeah, you tried it, but you tried the wrong one.
Not Geoffrey. Not this Geoffrey. So yeah, he took care of him, but she tried to lead him down to basically get caught up by the gang. But Geoffrey was like, all right, we gotta basically go. So he makes the decision by the end of the season that him, his son, and Penelope are gonna leave. They're gonna go on the run away from this whole gang. He doesn't even let the Banks family know, but he kind of hints at it the entire final episode, where he's having like nice touching moments with all of them. He's like telling Will and Carlton that he's so proud of the growth that they've been through, so proud of like Ashley and Hilary. Has a moment with Phil talking about how much he appreciates his friendship, appreciates him bringing him into the family and whatnot. And then while they're at the wedding, he kind of just goes out into the distance and he leaves with Penelope and his son. And then the end of the season, we see Will. He goes to Geoffrey's apartment because he was like wondering. He was like, "Where's Geoffrey at?" When Phil made his announcement about the kind of creating a whole new mall and stuff. He's like, "Where's Geoffrey at?" So he goes to see Geoffrey at his apartment. He sees that Geoffrey's apartment, all the furniture and stuff is getting cleared out and it's entire empty. I love the little callback of him in the empty apartment. That was a callback to the last episode of Fresh Prince of Bel Air when he's in the empty house. And he leaves and we see the van following Will. And then the season ends with Will getting caught by the gang and they throw him into the freaking van, and that's how we end the season. I was like, man, that's a good cliffhanger. That's a great cliffhanger because I was like, this seems so happy-go-lucky for this dark drama season.
It's too good to be true. It's always got to be something. It always got to get you. Yep, I agree.
Yeah, so really good stuff. What did you kind of think of Geoffrey's whole entire arc and how the season ended with Will getting kidnapped?
It just ties back like how we have Geoffrey will be coming back to help save Will or whatever. But like again, his story never had anything to do with anybody else's story. But it's just, you know, the dynamics of like peeling off the onion and letting you know like the layers of like what caused him to do the things that he did.
Yeah, I really, I did not like how like disconnected it was to everything, but I just like Geoffrey as a character.
I love Geoffrey as a character. Yes, that's
why I kind of wanted him more connected into the family. So I was happy with how his arc ended with Will getting kidnapped, because I was scared when he was like doing the little send off and everything. I was like, are they writing Geoffrey out of the show? Like, how we going to have this show without Geoffrey?
You need Geoffrey. Geoffrey has to be there.
Gotta have Geoffrey, because he's not just the butler like he was in the original series. He's the family enforcer. He's the family enforcer, private investigator, like spy, like he does everything.
He's the go-to guy. He gets shit done.
Head of security, like he got so many different hats that he wear for this family. Can't have the Banks without Geoffrey.
That's a fact.
Aubrey saying, I need a Geoffrey spinoff before he met Phil. I mean, yeah, that would be interesting. That would be interesting. Even though they kind of ruined it, because I wanted Geoffrey to kind of be like an old spy instead of an old drug dealer. They made him into a drug dealer. I was just like, why all niggas, even if they from London, got to be drug dealers?
Why got to be drug dealers? They trying to get their lives together. Like he definitely could have been something like an old officer or something like in the service, something where like black ops, like he was in the army or something like something like the military, something where it would have just been much cooler than black drug dealer.
Black drug dealer. We got DeMarcus who says Tiana played Carrie Milgram in Power Book 2 Ghost. Yes, it took me like a couple of scenes of her, and I'm just like, she looked really familiar. But I was like, her hair is not the same, because I feel, that's that bitch Carrie Milgram, the one everybody be fucking over in Power Book 2 Ghost.
You know what?
That's that bitch Carrie Milgram. Oh my god.
That couldn't keep her mouth shut and was minding everybody's damn business. Yeah, that was her.
She would be a swinger if she was in another show.
You know what? Okay. It's not even necessary.
I'm just saying. Like, what's wrong with what I said? What's wrong with what I said? Aubrey saying, I like Geoffrey and Penelope. I didn't feel the chemistry really when they were talking with one another. There was a little bit of like physical chemistry when they were like doing the dancing to the reggae music and stuff like that. But
I was like, other than that, we didn't need that episode. I mean, that part of the scene. We didn't need them fake choreographed grinding at the pub, or like, let's say bashment. I don't know, like. Okay.
We got DeMarcus who says, would y'all consider Geoffrey an absentee father like a lot of people did Lou? He had his reasons, but Lou had his reasons.
Lou has reasons. So we gotta give grace, but we gotta give grace to both people. They both have reason. Yes.
I'll give grace to both.
But yes, he is an absentee dad, just like the other one. Absolutely.
Yeah. Got to keep that same energy.
Keep the same energy. Yep.
DeMarcus says it would be cool if OG Hilary met new age Hilary in season 4.
Oh yeah, like they did with Ashley. Yeah.
Yeah, that would.
I would like that. I think that is a great idea. I think that is absolutely great. Yeah.
Like she's her therapist, because she's gonna need therapy after this season.
Because now she's gonna be feeling guilty, like, I chose. I was in love with, I let him know that I kissed this other guy, but I really wanted to be with him, and at the last second,
He done died. Which gives us a natural transition into the whole love triangle of this season of Hilary, Jazz, and LaMarcus. So
they did get married, right?
Yes, we
Okay,
ended season 2 with LaMarcus taking Hilary on a international trip on a jet somewhere after she picked LaMarcus over Jazz. And Jazz was coming in very salty with that decision, and Hilary was coming in with a little bit of regret, especially when she saw Jazz at their little holiday, at their little like summer kickoff party at the house. Jazz pulled up with a new chick, and Hilary was looking quite jealous, and she was also getting a lot of shit from Ashley and Will, who were like, "Oh, you should have picked Jazz," and whatnot. But we find out that Hilary had been asked to get married by LaMarcus, and he did it in front of Trevor Fountain. That was the name of the fountain he did it in front of. Trevor Fountain. Yes.
That's so. Oh my God. Yeah, messy.
The writing. They gave you what was going to happen at the beginning of the season. So they have a nice little back and forth in that first episode where Jazz just ripped Hilary a new one. He came off very salty, but he was spitting some facts. He was like, "You a track star, Flojo." Oh my God. And for a broke nigga, why does Jazz have the best wardrobe of anybody on this show?
Him and Geoffrey.
That's true. Geoffrey be having the suits and everything.
The suits be on. The suits is like top tier Steve Harvey suits, yo.
But Jazz be having the ice. He be having the fresh cut with the designs in there. I was like, yo, Jazz, we not supposed to be taking you that serious. Why do you have to look so fly? But
I dig it. I like it.
He told her about herself. We got a couple of different times where they were interacting with one another. They did a big party at Phil's firm in the early episodes, in like the first 5 episodes, where they had like a big argument with one another and then wound up kissing each other, which Ashley saw. So Ashley was probably trying to put the pressure on her sister to tell LaMarcus about the kiss. You gotta tell the truth. And this led to
your ass go sit down some damn place. Go figure out if you want to be a girl. You want to like girls or boys.
So this led to kind of Hilary's conflict throughout the season. When she was going to tell LaMarcus at one of his practices, this dude done fainted. He had a cardiac arrest, and he was basically in a coma for a lot of the season in the hospital. But when he comes out of the hospital, because Hilary was by his side the entire way, she put her career on hold, kind of feeling that guilt after kissing Jazz, but really trying to be there for LaMarcus and show her love for LaMarcus. LaMarcus comes out and he's like, yo, I want to get married like tomorrow. Let's go to Martha's Vineyard and let's do this thing. So the season ends with them getting married. But before the wedding, Jazz and Hilary, they meet up and they want to kind of get all their feelings out, where she wants to go to his house. And I'm like, are y'all gonna fuck? Y'all just gonna fuck it out of y'all system?
That part. It was like, girl, what you doing on his? You could have met him at the record shop.
Y'all could have stayed there the whole night. He owned the record shop. Like, you didn't have to go to his apartment.
You didn't have to go to his apartment. You definitely didn't have to go to his apartment. Didn't lose her damn ring.
Yep. They spend the whole night. They were smoking weed and stuff, and she falls asleep there. They don't sleep with each other, but they talk a lot. They get all their feelings out in the open, but she leaves her ring there, and she doesn't realize it until the final episode before they're leaving for Martha's Vineyard for the wedding. And this leads to them having to buy a plane ticket for Jazz to make it over there in time so he can give the ring back to Hilary, and he accepts that Hilary has chosen LaMarcus. They have a little moment, they hug it out, they go their separate ways, but LaMarcus finds Jazz there, and he's like, why the fuck is he here? And so Hilary finally has to kind of let it out in the open that she kissed Jazz. She also spent a night at his house, but they did nothing. So he's hurt, and he basically does like the wedding's off. He just leaves out. It takes Will, Ashley, and her kind of talking to LaMarcus to kind of convince him to come back and come through with the wedding. So he comes back. They get married. We have a happy ending with the two, or so we thought. Because the final scene of this year of the season, they're on their honeymoon, and he's in the hotel. Apparently, they've been bumping and grinding ever since the honeymoon started. So his heart is not good. So she's like, honey, you want me to get you a drink? So she goes and makes him a drink. And I just knew, I was like, something's going to go wrong. Because why they keep cutting back? They cutting the Will, going to Geoffrey's apartment, cutting back to this. I was like, something big going to happen. And then she comes back to the bed, and she thinks that he's fake sleeping. But then she realized that she feels no pulse, and he's out, and that nigga died.
They told him to take it
after. How they do it after they get married, though?
Well, at least they did. At least she married him. Like, you know, she did what she wanted to. I feel like that was the right call. However, I don't know if you remember them, you know, foreshadowing, saying he needs to take it easy. The doctor didn't even get him cleared. His dad was one of the main people that was pushing him because he's like an ex-NFL player as well. So he's doing everything through his son. And yeah, he couldn't do it. The heart couldn't hold on no more. He wasn't even supposed to fly them off his vineyard.
Nah, wasn't supposed to do all that. I feel bad though. Hilary, I like this Hilary a lot more than the Hilary on Bel Air. The Hilary on Fresh Prince of Bel Air. The Hilary on Fresh Prince of Bel Air had to be pushed to work. This one is a go-getter who was always about her career in the first two seasons. And then she showed a lot more love than Hilary ever did for anyone that she was in a relationship with for LaMarcus. And the fact that, you know, she did something wrong, but she was trying to make up for it by being by his side the entire way while he went through, you know, his old medical issue, and then for her to lose it all in the end. And now she's going to be conflicted because you would think that, okay, now that he's gone, you can go back to Jazz, but she chose LaMarcus over Jazz.
Yep.
Twice.
Yep. Definitely twice. I think that this character of Hilary is, like, I agree, she's way better. I love Coco Jones playing her character. And also I feel like this makes her more personable. It makes her more not stuck up, but like she's more like human, I want to say, than the other Hilary was. Hilary was just worried about herself and shopping, and yeah, it was an airhead. They just made her seem like just airhead Hilary. That's it.
Yeah, airhead Hilary, and this one has a lot more depth and layers to her. So I enjoy Coco Jones' kind of portrayal of her. So going back to kind of the Will and Carlton, because they are kind of like the main characters of season 3. So their whole Black says they basically have to deal with like getting an investor for their business. But at the same time, Carlton is dealing with Amira, who's just a whole mess, causes so many issues. They do like the whole pool party that I was talking about earlier, where they invite one of Will's friends from the country club that they're working at, but he invites Jackie. So Will is there with Lisa, and, you know, Carlton is there with Amira. They play this game where they played at when they were in rehab, where they have to tell truths and stuff. And it was like, who did you lose your virginity to? So that's when Amira finds out that Carlton lost his virginity to Lisa. That's when Amira basically causes Will and Jackie to admit they had sex with each other, and it just causes like a whole bunch of issues. It also brings up that Will has been very neglectful to Jackie, to Lisa, because he doesn't know all the stuff she's dealing with the swimming practice, as well as her dad putting more pressure on her to you know, take care of her baby brother.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm mad we didn't get any scenes with the white stepmom, because I hated her. I hated her in season 2. I wanted more scenes where Viv can snap her a new one again.
Yep. Yeah. We'll probably see it in the next season though.
Yeah, probably. And we only got one scene with Lisa and her dad.
Yeah. He was around, but he was there.
Yeah. So yeah, this leads to kind of Will being more committed to Lisa and showing her more attention and caring about her needs, asking about her more, because she kind of expressed like, you always got shit going on. I always need to be there for you when you're not really there for me. And during that pool party, Lisa finds a bag of Coke in Amira's bag. And she asks her about it. She's like, I'm just going through something. This is the anniversary of my sister's death. And as soon as he said that shit, Krssi, I did not believe a word she said. I knew she was lying.
From then, I knew from before, because remember she tried that line, before that. So
no. Oh yeah, yes, you're right, because she was supposed to. She pressured Carlton into having a dinner with his mom and dad, because the beginning of the season when they did the kickoff party, Viv was very apprehensive about Amira because she knew that Carlton met her in rehab. She's recovering, he's recovering. So the best thing for him is to not be in a relationship with her. And she basically suggested that she stay away from Carlton, which led to Carlton confronting Viv, where Viv just tore him a new one. It was like, I'll put my trust in you, and you played me. You played me. So no, you're not going to get the benefit of the doubt. No, I'm not going to be easy on you. Like, we took your doors away. We got you on a curfew. Like, no, I need to rebuild that trust with you. So that's not where we're at. So I'm going to say what I say. I'm going to feel how I feel. And that's the point of it. And I was like, Carlton needed that. After Carlton played her so many times in season 2, I was like, I'm not mad at you, man. I think you shouldn't have done. You handled the whole thing wrong with Amira, but the way you addressed Carlton, I was like, nah, that was the right way to address your son.
Yeah, absolutely, I agree. Sometimes they need that in their lives, and yeah.
So Amira pressures him to have a dinner with his mom and dad, and he's like, yeah, they said they would have you over. So he has to talk his mom into doing the dinner, and she agrees, trying to kind of give him the benefit of the doubt on this situation. And then she no-shows. She shows up late, and then she's like saying, oh, it's the anniversary of my sister's death, and I just been going through it. And, Viv is there for her. Carlton's there for her. And then she reuses that same excuse when Lisa finds the bag of Coke in her bag. And Lisa, tells it to Will. But Will is the wrong person to tell. You should have just told Carlton. You were friends with Carlton first. You should have just told Carlton first. But she tells Will, who Will is a little bit salty with Amira, because Amira basically caused all the issues with him and Lisa, caused issues with him and Jackie, and caused a whole big mess. So he basically tells Amira about herself. Amira tells Lisa about herself, and then she winds up taking Coke by the swimming pool and almost drowning.
And almost dying. And then causes Lisa not to even want to get in the damn pool no more, because she keeps seeing the girl's floating body in there.
Yep.
Terrible.
So this leads to Carlton almost relapsing, but he comes up with the strength to actually, not go through with that. And he really kind of shows his strength, his inner strength by the end of it. But while he's dealing with all of that, Will has to find an investor. So he takes one of the big investors that he found for Blacksess, and it winds up to be Drew, who was the same person that Carlton beat up last season, and Will took Lisa from him in last season.
That fuck boy, I was like, oh, here we go. Here we damn go.
I was like, I hate this light-skinned nigga. I just hate his guts. Every time he smiles,
this cocky nigga, yo. This cocky dude, yeah. He's just, never trusted you light-skinned brothers.
Never trust you, light-skinned brother. Fuck you. But yeah. So yeah, but he actually he's about his business. Like, he wants to make sure that they are actually coming through with this whole Blacksess idea, and it's a good investment for his dad, because his dad is the investor, and he wants to work with them. So they wind up working with him as well, because Phil kind of gives a talk to Carlton, because Carlton was the one who was more apprehensive than even Will was, because he's like, I don't really want to work with them. And Phil tells him, sometimes you got to work with people you don't like, but if it's good for your business, that's the way it gotta be. So they all come together by the end of it, and it was looking like a happy ending, at least for the Will and Carlton part, until Will got kidnapped. Yeah. But I have faith in it. I think it's gonna work out this next season.
He's going to probably held for ransom. Geoffrey gonna have to come back and help save him.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Lou gonna get involved. The mama gonna get involved.
It's gonna be Bel Air Avengers of Phil, Lou, and Geoffrey.
And Geoffrey. The aunties is gonna come back. Like it's gonna be a big
all
thing.
the aunties. Yes, we need all the aunties to come together. Carlton. Oh man, it's gonna be great. And yeah, Carlton had to say goodbye to Amira because she went to a rehab center that specializes with grief because they find out that she did go through like a car accident that triggered her addiction, but her sister, it wasn't the anniversary of her sister. She never had a sister. So
nope. So something's making her make up that lie. So she got to go dive deeper.
Yeah. So she had to go all the way to Boston to a rehab center. But that is how season 3 of Bel Air ended. And like I said, I think it was the most entertaining, interesting, intriguing, compelling season of Bel Air so far.
Yes. I agree. Best season so far. So season 4 got high expectations.
It does, but we got a lot of stories to follow up on with Will getting kidnapped, with the baby on the way, baby Nikki, Trevor, Trevor dying, Ashley, Ashley,
Lamarcus,
dealing with
not Trevor.
I'm calling him Trevor. He's Trevor to me. Lamarcus Trevor. We call him Lamarcus Trevor then.
Okay, Lamarcus Trevor, got it. Trevor's Lamarcus.
Ashley now has a boyfriend who she's in like a semi band with, and she was basically playing with her gender fluency and fooling both of her parents and stuff like that, having the boy in her room. I was like, nah, you better listen to your mother. You ain't supposed to have that boy in your room. Just because you into girls this week don't mean you're gonna be into girls next week.
I don't know. I don't like this part of the whatever. Making the girl think, I don't know. Then she was mean to her friend. Like, it was bad. Like, she was just nasty to the girl. Like, the girl was trying to help her out. And, yeah, she was just... Ashley just need to figure it out, too. So,
I agree. DeMarcus saying, do y'all think that Amira reminds us of Cindy, Lark Vaughn's in the original Fresh Prince of Bel Air because she tried to scam Carlton in Bel Air by saying the baby was Carlton's baby. Yes, I remember that storyline.
I remember
Carlton had all the better female storylines than Will because they actually paid them off, at least in an episode or two.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
I like that.
That was Sydney. Damn. Yeah, and Carlton did have all the better girlfriends too.
Yeah. We got DeMarcus who says, I thought that Frederick was betting on drag racing to help his mother, Penelope, with the apartment. They never really like confirmed.
They didn't say.
Yeah. It felt like more of he wanted to be a gangster. Because even when Penelope moved in with Geoffrey and Frederick, he was still doing the gang shit. Yeah. And that's why he got beat up and stuff. Well, he got beat up by Geoffrey's old gang, to be fair. So somewhat to do with Geoffrey. But that brings us to the end of our season 3 review. But let's put our thumbs in the middle, Miss Krssi Love, for season 3 of Bel Air in 3, 2, 1. Thumbs up across the board. Out of 10, what did you give this season?
8.5.
I'm gonna go with a 9. I really enjoyed this season.
I really enjoyed it. I thought 9 might be too high, so okay, I give it a 9 then. Fine. I really liked it. I was very, very pleased with this season. From beginning to end, I enjoyed it. So yes, I'll give it a 9 as well. Very high expectations for season 4, friends. Very, very high. But we already know who your MVP of the season is.
Who's mine?
You said Carlton.
Oh yeah. I'd say Carlton. I really enjoyed the portrayal of his addiction and his whole arc with the mirror and stuff. So I think that he has really turned it around since the beginning of season 1.
I'd have to agree with that one. Honorable mention to who? Hilary,
honorable mention to Hilary. Yeah,
Hilary.
That's what I'd say.
Now,
Hilary.
Our LVPs.
LVP, I would give it to
Amira and Frederick.
Oh, well, that's fair. That's fair. You know what? You're actually right. If I had to choose between the two of Amira and Frederick, I would probably go Frederick.
Frederick, yeah, same. Because Zamira, you know, she's an addict, but you know, probably Frederick, yeah, for sure, Frederick.
Yeah. Good shout, yes, Bianca Belair in episode 8 of Bel Air.
I was like, they didn't want to put her in clothes though. Like, why did she have to wear wrestling gear?
I was like, why is she not talking like a human? Why is she talking in WWE speak?
EST, like she could have made her talk regular, but okay, whatever. I was like, fine. I was happy to see her, but yeah, they could have had her in like regular clothes. She doesn't have to be dressed like a wrestler. She looked great, but like she didn't have to be dressed like a wrestler.
She could wear gym clothes at least,
she could,
like not her wrestling gear.
Yes, I agree. They could have had a Nike tracksuit or something. I don't know, like. Anywho, but okay, yeah.
And the DeMarcus asks us, what did y'all think about Quentin Vic Mensa in this season?
I think the more acting Vic Mensa does, the better he'll get.
Agreed with that. I agree.
Because he's been around, so he's making rounds, and he's been doing. I think he really taking his acting serious, and so yeah, I think the more acting, the more believable he'll be.
Agreed there. So I know we got to come to a wrap on this one, but if you want to talk more about Bel Air, let us know in the comments down below. Give us your thoughts on season 3 of Bel Air. We appreciate y'all if you joined us live and was sounding off in the live chat. Aubrey, DeMarcus, appreciate y'all for being very vocal, talking in the live chat with us. But if you're watching us on demand, let us know in the comments down below what you thought about Bel Air season 3. Miss Krssi Love, let everybody know where they can follow you on social media when they will see you again.
You can follow me here on the chat. We are here every Saturday, 11:05 a.m. for Trill Heat. Oh, it's on another channel. Sorry. But you can find us there. We talk everything from this week, wrestling news and events. Other than that, you can join us for our next review show, which we'll figure it out for next week or the week after, SP and myself. But yeah, you'll join us for another review for another great show that we'll be watching or binge watching. Other than that, it's Krssi Love _1, True Hill Krssi Love on Twitter, and then just my plain old name. Thanks, SP.
You can follow me on the Twitter machine at TrueHillSP3. You can follow the gang, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok at True Hill Heat, patreon.com/True Hill Heat. $3 a month gets you exclusive content. The best place to support us when we are not live here or over on the True Hill Heat Wrestling YouTube channel. And yes, check out all the great content we got on this channel, on the other channel. Check out our Power Book 2 Ghost Season 4 series finale with myself, Miss Krssi Love, and Top Guy JJ, breaking down the finale of the final season of Power Book 2 Ghost. We'll probably have some more content from that as we gear up for Raising Kanan this winter as well. But yes, we got to do a review for The Bear season 3. We're going to do probably a part 1, part 2 review for the Penguin series as well. I'm going to do something for Agatha All Along on this channel. So you got a lot of content to enjoy. So check it out.
I might can join you for Agatha, just depending on the time. But yes, love Agatha. I'm here with it. The last episode was great. So yeah.
Oh man, that last episode. When you catch me in the ground. Oh my God. I was like, oh, wicked. Oh man, yes. We definitely gotta chop it up about Agatha All Along. So that's what you can do, guys. If you're watching us on demand, let us know in the comments down below which one of those series you want us to review next on the channel next week, whether it be the Penguin, the Bear, or Agatha All Along. You guys will decide in the comments down below. So we'll talk about it. We got DeMarcus in the chat closing us out, saying the season was a solid 9. He says Frederick LVP. Agreed. We are going to do all of them Power Driver Finisher, but we're letting y'all choose which one we do first. That's the choice for y'all. Okay. But yes, drop the like on this video, share this video, and like I said before, comment down below. But for Miss Krssi Love, it is me, your True Phenom SP3. This has been our Bel Air Season 3 review. We signing off until next time.
Later.